It's a beautiful day, and I thought, why the heck not? Let's just get out of the office and go outside into the backyard to record this latest segment. So I just finished Susan Barker's The Incarnation. The book opens and we're in a small concrete room lit by a dim bulb. There's an ancient PC chugging away in the corner, and the writer is woken from a fevered dream and with frozen fingers is writing stories of past incarnations, of slaves crawling on hands and knees across the Gobi Desert, of imperial concubines in the bedchamber looking at a set of surgical knives. The year is 2008, and Beijing is readying itself for the Olympics to come. And the writers travel to this city of 16 million people to find one person, Wang Zheng, a taxicab driver. And the writer pities Wang Zheng's wife. What will become of her once he realizes that they are soulmates? Their lives have been intertwined for almost a millennia, over countless reincarnations. I mean, what possible relevance could she possibly have once Wang Zheng realizes the truth? I mean, that is one hell of an opening chapter. Does the letter writer have sinister designs on Wang Zheng? What about his wife? What about their young child? Is this writer crazy? And what possible relevance do these past incarnations have on Wang Zheng's life now? But the story itself isn't a straight-up thriller. We're actually sent back to examine these past lives. They are fully formed stories. We're told the story of a eunuch in the 7th century, the tale of a slave driven by Mongol hordes in the 13th century, a concubine during the 16th century, pirates in the 19th century, and school kids during the Cultural Revolution. Truth be told, I don't even know what to make of this story. If this was written by some white guy in a cardigan sitting in his little writing nook, I would think this was blatantly racist. China is viewed through an opium haze. It's a land of superstition and decadence. We're given all this sort of exotic oriental Chinese set pieces. Ancient sorcerers, Mongol hordes that rape and pillage, decadent emperors and eunuchs. I mean, this is China as imagined by George Lucas. And if that isn't yellow peril enough for you, all the sex, and there's plenty of it in this book, is completely dysfunctional. We have incest, rape, repressed homosexuality, prostitution, and horrendous acts of sadomasochism. When the writer talks about soulmates, it's not referring to like long walks on the beach and lingering kisses in the rain. But then I find that Barker herself is biracial. Her father is British and her mother is Malaysian Chinese, and she spent much of her time in Beijing during the writing of this book. So does that give her a pass? But then I also find that the Emperor Jiajing that they talk about actually did exist, and there was an assassination attempt by his concubines, and I am sure that they all died by 1,000 cuts. So really, politically, I don't even know what to make of this story, but I do know that it's a compelling, grim, and dark read. Relentless, really. These incarnations are absolutely the worst. Their lives are just like a white-hot mess. Reincarnation is a Sisyphean ordeal, and they'd be well served to actually come back as frogs. There are little bits of humor throughout the book. During the Cultural Revolution, the child is admonished to finish their rice porridge because, don't you know, there's kids starving in America? In the 16th century, one of the concubines is concubine what's-her-name with a defective girl-bearing uterus. And in the 6th century, the girl is named Brother Cumming. It has a dual meaning, unfortunately, but primarily she's named that in the hopes that the next child born will be a male heir. This isn't exactly a light summer beach read. If you've read The Incarnations by Susan Barker, I'd love to hear what you thought about it. Or, hey, what have you been reading lately that you've been enjoying? Let me know in the comments below.